So in this flask we have some sodium acetate, a very, very tiny amount of water, even though it looks like there's a bunch there right now. It's all been dissolved. In order to do that, we had to heat this up to a pretty decently high temperature. And now we're at a point where we have what's called a supersaturated solution, and the sodium acetate in there is more dissolved than is theoretically possible. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add a seed crystal to it of sodium acetate, and when I do, this is immediately going to start to crystallize. And you can note that it can't even pour out any water from this because there's so little water in there, and there's water in those interstitial spaces, so it's not like there's none there. That's pretty cool. And I'm going to tell you that it feels very, very warm, and so this is a good demonstration to look at when we're learning about thermochemistry and thermodynamics. And so if we think about what enthalpy changes have occurred, what entropy changes have occurred, and how those factor into the Gibbs free energy, then we can explain or predict why that happened in the way that it did, and whether it would happen differently at different temperatures, whether higher or lower. All right, and I'm going to show you now how this works in reverse. We're going to take this, and just so you don't think I'm crazy, we're going to heat this up and show how we can dissolve all of this in a little tiny amount of water that's in there. But I do want to kind of show that this is something where there's very, very little water and a very large quantity of sodium acetate salt. Pretty nifty. And this is the same type of stuff they would use in a hot pack, so right now it feels very warm in my hands. Yeah, all right, let's go ahead and heat this up. And we're going to let that heat. I'm going to speed this up so you can zoom through it. We'll come back when this is boiling. Alright, so now we're boiling. And shut this off and take this right there. And we're going to leave that on the counter to cool. And so you can see that all of that sodium acetate is now dissolved in that little tiny bit of water. There's even less water now because some of that obviously has left, but now we're in a situation where actually it looks like there might be too little and it might already be crystallizing. So in order for me to keep that from doing that, I need to add a little more water to it. Not a lot. Actually, I probably should wait to cool down because otherwise it's going to shatter the glass a little bit. What we'll do is we'll use this beaker to do it. Hope for the best. And then all we would need to do from there is just put this back on here. Forming things. So I'm just going to drop a little bit in here. There we go.